Join me as I dive deep into the origins of some of the most famous quotes out there and see if I can trace them back to their true sources. Famous quotes have a way of embedding themselves into our culture, often becoming a part of our everyday conversations. They can inspire, motivate, and sometimes even confuse us. But have you ever stopped to think about where these quotes really come from? I'm talking about those phrases that you hear all the time, like break a leg or bite the bullet. You might think you know what they mean, but do you really know where they started? A lot of people assume that quotes are straightforward, that they're just a simple phrase said by someone famous and then recorded in history. But the truth is, some of these phrases have really complex and varied origins. Take the phrase, to be or not to be, for example. You probably know it from Shakespeare's Hamlet, but what you might not know is that it's been interpreted in so many different ways over the years. It's not just a simple phrase. It's a question that's been debated by scholars and philosophers for centuries. The problem with assuming quotes are straightforward is that it oversimplifies their history. When we don't dig deeper, we miss out on the rich context and evolution of these phrases. For instance, the phrase "the pen is mightier than the sword" is often attributed to Edward Bulwer Lytton. But what does it really mean in today's world? Is it still relevant, or is it just a relic of the past? Understanding the origins of famous quotes can actually change how we see them. It's like getting a behind-the-scenes look at a movie. Once you know the story behind the quote, you can't help but see it in a new light. This is especially true for quotes that have been misattributed or have unclear origins. When we learn the truth, it can be both surprising and enlightening. Let's take a closer look at some famous quotes and their origins. The phrase "I think, therefore I am" is often attributed to René Descartes. But did you know that it was initially part of a larger philosophical work? Or consider the phrase "the only thing we have to fear is fear itself." You might know it from a famous speech by Franklin D. Roosevelt, but what you might not know is that it was part of a larger narrative about the Great Depression. Another example is the phrase "God bless America." You might think it's a classic American expression, but its origins are actually more complex. It was popularized by Irving Berlin in a 1938 song, but it has since taken on a life of its own. These examples show how quotes can evolve over time, taking on new meanings and significance. But here's one that might really surprise you. The phrase "long time no see." You probably use it all the time to greet a friend you haven't seen in a while, but its origins are actually rooted in broken English. It was popularized during the 19th century as a pidgin expression, and it's since become a standard phrase in American English. In conclusion, understanding where famous quotes really come from can add depth and richness to our conversations. It's not just about knowing the phrase, it's about knowing the history and context behind it. By learning more about these quotes, we can appreciate their complexity and evolution over time. So, what are some of your favorite quotes, and do you know where they really come from? Let me know in the comments below. If you're interested in more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more content. See you in the next video.